Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. An educational program that has reached generations of Vermont school kids is once again being offered around the state this spring. The 4-H Embryology program is a favorite with students and teachers for its hands-on, up-close learning opportunities. To learn more, we've called on two guests. Martha Manning is the UVM Extension 4-H educator who directs the Embryology program statewide. And joining Martha is Lee Orlando. Lee is a longtime teacher in the Burlington School District with years of experience guiding her young students through the Embryology program. Thank you both so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So, Martha, this program is familiar to a lot of our viewers, but for those who don't know about it, just give us a quick overview.
So, Embryology is the hands-on program of the University of Vermont Extension 4-H. It happens in Vermont schools and homeschools each spring, and students learn how the embryos grow and develop from a fertile egg to 21 days until hatching.
Terrific, and we can see that you're hands-on right there today with your chicken. We're going to take a moment to see and hear the magic that happens when the embryology program gets underway in a Vermont school. Keith Silvat takes us to Montpelier.
It's a day to celebrate at Montpelier Union Elementary. The chicks in Miss Cody's classroom have hatched, and the children are excited. Really excited.
Raising chicks is really fun. They're cute. It was so exciting that I couldn't wait, but I had to wait. Well, you get to see the eggs crack open, and that's really fun.
The eggs are kept in an incubator for exactly 20 days. And on day 21, the fun begins.
I just think it's magical. And this time of year, it's just spring fever, and it really gets the kids back into school and loving school again, because this time of year they just want to be outdoors and playing, and it works really well with the science standards that we do in kindergarten for life cycles and the needs of plants and animals.
UVM Extension 4-H educator Martha Manning is visiting to give the children hands-on advice about caring for these new arrivals.
They're just babies. They can't make enough heat yet, and they don't really have a lot of feathers. Don't crowd, just let's see where they go, okay? And then we'll talk about the chicks when we have them down here on the mat. So we have one yellow chick and we have one brown chick.
The UVM Extension 4-H Embryology program is open to grades K through 12 and homeschoolers. The curriculum adapts to any subject and stage of learning.
It hits almost every single part of the curriculum, not just science, literacy, even math. We keep track of the days up to 21, obviously, right? I think it just lends itself well to this age, and they love the hands-on part of it. They love interacting when they're even in their eggs. They go over and watch them, and we keep track of what day we're on. We do tons of books. We read lots of books about chickens and hens, and both fiction and nonfiction.
One finger.
It doesn't take long before the students catch on to the chicks or how to care for them.
Something I've learned about chicks is that they need heat to live, because they're just born and they don't make enough heat for themselves yet. And right now they dried up. They're so soft and cute and fluffy. They were just real eggs at first, but at the end they started to look like real chicks. It helps us learn. What if we don't know what they're...
We want them to be lifelong learners, and it lends itself to really, that sort of idea, and it gives so much back to the kids. It's a super project.
Oh, great, I like that. It will be fun to have...
Raising chicks and raising kids. It's enough to make you wonder which comes first. In Montpelier, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
chicken egg. It's just wonderful to see all that excitement and care in the classroom. Our thanks to Ms. Cody and her students. And now turning back to our guests, I'm with Martha Manning, the 4-H educator who directs the program statewide, and Lee Orlando, who has taught embryology in her classrooms for many, many years. Martha, we saw and heard the wonderment from the kids. From your viewpoint, what is it about embryology that gets kids so excited and engaged with learning?
I think that the excitement is due from the anticipation. These students were there when the eggs were put into the incubator. They were responsible for monitoring the temperature and the humidity in the incubator multiple times each day. They either hand turned the eggs or made sure that the turner was working. They studied the changes that were happening each day inside the egg, even though they couldn't see what was happening. And they really became the mother hen for these eggs. And the anticipation was further heightened about day 20 when they could hear the chicks pipping inside the eggs, but they still couldn't see the eggs. So I think it's, this is science at its best. The students also did journaling and reading and math. So it's across all curriculum areas, but I think it's just exciting for them to, be part of something that they've probably never seen before.
Right. Do you have an ultimate goal about what the kids learn?
Well, the ultimate goal is, of course, set by each individual teacher or instructor. But I think it's that, they learn responsibility, they learn life skills, they learn, where chickens come from. I just think it's a great program because it covers such a breadth of areas.
Absolutely. And you have teachers all across the state who commit to doing this. They put a lot into the program.
We do. We've got, teachers like Ms. Cody and Lee Orlando who've done this program many years. We also have teachers who are just, new to the program. So it's really exciting to see all the different ideas that they have.
Yeah. Well, let's get on to Lee. Lee Orlando is one of many Vermont educators who has taught embryology to elementary students for years, elementary and middle school. Here's what Lee told Across the Fence about the program back in 2006.
The best thing about the embryology program is that it hooks children in to learning, unlike any other unit I do. And once it happens, they are with you 110%. And when you have children's attention like that, all sorts of great learning can happen.
So Lee began teaching embryology in 1999, and she tells us that the program is one of the first things her students ask about every year. And now is the time to sign up. We'll share that contact information with you in just a moment. So Lee, what are some of the reflections you have now after teaching embryology for nearly 25 years?
Oh my goodness, that was really fun seeing that old footage from years ago. And what I can tell you is that if I were to meet any of those students who are now young adults, my bet is that they would ask me right away, do you still do chicks? And that question comes up every time I meet a former student, which tells you that this program has lasting power. And they really remember that part of their sixth grade year or fourth grade year, whatever year it was that I was teaching. So that is really good that this is something that goes beyond the school year.
Yeah, absolutely. And Martha tells us that one of the many things she appreciates about you is that you take embryology well beyond just the hatching of cute chicks. What are you able to incorporate educationally as part of this program?
Well, like Ms. Cody said, this is a program that goes across disciplines. So even though I'm now a sixth grade math and science teacher, I incorporate literacy and social studies and all kinds of different areas come into this unit. We take the idea of how an egg is formed and we use rain gutters to create an oviduct of sorts. And students form a egg making factory, which each student takes on a role of forming a different part of the egg. And so they learn sort of the mystery behind how an egg forms inside a chicken. And that's one of the joys of this unit is that we often take eggs for granted. They're part of many of our everyday, meals. And so to kind of unpack that and look at the anatomy of the egg, the air cell, the membrane, and really understand how that egg is designed to sustain life as the chick is developing. Those kinds of hidden mysteries, with the science of it, are very cool to engage children in.
Kind of the mysteries of life. And how do you know the program works?
Well, from an academic level, of course, I set science goals, and I assess those in traditional ways to make sure students are learning what I want them to learn as part of the curriculum. But then there is that bigger idea of just having kids excited about learning. And when I see them asking questions and putting their noses right to the incubator to see, if there's any signs of pipping, or certainly interacting with the chicks once they hatch, then those are goals that have been reached too.
So Martha, how does a school or a teacher or a homeschool family get started or involved with your embryology program?
So they can reach me at the St. Albans office of UVM Extension at 802-524-6501, or send an email to martha.manning@uvm.edu, and we will get you out the information. Registration deadlines are in March, so we'd love to hear from you.
Terrific. And Lee, will give you the final word. As a teacher, what are you most looking forward to with this year's embryology program?
Well, certainly the excitement, the kids' questions, and just that absolute joy that infuses the room once those chicks are part of our classroom.
Awesome. So Lee Orlando and Martha Manning, thank you both for your time today and sharing this great information about the 4-H embryology program.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And once again, thank you for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.